Hello YouTube. Today I want to go through some cards that you want to maybe consider to be putting inside a Maelstrom deck that will be coming out I believe tomorrow for the JP side. So firstly, let's just get right into it. So your starter, basic, when roll upon, when second, draw one. Your grade 1 right line, when it's right upon by a unit with Arc Force in its clan, you search your deck with a Blue Storm Fleet card and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. So this so-called Blue Storm Fleet card, it's actually an order card that I'll be talking about later. Then its other skill is during your turn, if you have a Vanguard with Maelstrom in its card's name, this unit gets plus 5,000. Meh. Then the grade 2 right line, when this unit is rolled upon by a unit with only Arc of Force for its clan, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 unit card with only Arc of Force for its clan or tier dragon from among them and call it to rearguard and shuffle your deck. This skill, when rolled upon, it's gonna be really useful for setting up your attacks. Then its second ability is when this attacks, if it's the 4th battle of that turn or more, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Maelstrom in its card name, until the end of that battle, this unit gets plus 5,000, and when the attack hits, draw a card. Then the big boss of the deck, Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom. So, act. Once per turn, discard a card from your hand. Choose a unit card with only Arc of Force for its clan or tier dragon from your soul. Call it to rearguard and at the end of the until the end of the turn. When this unit attacks, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, and if it's the first battle of that turn, you can counterblast 1 and stand that unit. Then at the end of the turn, you put it back into the soul. Then it's on attack skill is, if it's the 4th battle of that turn, you draw a card. Then choose one of your opponent's rearguard and target. This one is, you do as much of the skill as possible, if I remember. So you can still draw a card even if you can't retire any of your opponent's rearguard. Then a support card for Maelstrom Tidal Assault. When this unit attacks, cost Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your Vanguards with Maelstrom in its card's name, get plus 5,000. And its other skill is at the end of a battle that this unit attack, and if it's the 2nd battle of that turn, if you have a standing Vanguard with Maelstrom in its card's name, you can counterblast 1 and stand this card. It's a pretty good card, pretty good support, if I say. Then the grade 1 support, it's Will Assault. At the end of the battle that's this unit boosted, if you have a Vanguard with Maelstrom in its card's name, you can Soul Blast 1, choose 2 rearguards, and you can exchange their positions. So this is to, in a way, to get more multi attacks out towards your opponent, to fulfill the condition of 4 more attacks. Basically, that's pretty much its ability. Then this is what I was talking about when you continue from the grade 1 to the grade 2 right line, where the grade 1 skill is, when it's rolled upon by the grade 2, it searches for this specific card, to be exact. So this set order is called Judgment Maelstrom. You can play this card if you have a Vanguard with Maelstrom in its card's name, and when it is put into your order zone, you can perform all of the following. You do as much of the skill as possible, that is also as well. Choose up to 1 unit with only Arc of Force for its clan or tier dragon from your drop and call it to rearguard circle. Then choose one of your rearguards and it gets plus 5,000 until end of your turn for each other Judgment Maelstrom in your order zone. Keyword that you have to be careful of the fact that your rearguards can only get the power for other Judgment Maelstroms in your order zone. So if this is the card that you play first, you can only fulfill the first ability, which is to call a Aqua Force card or Tear Dragon from your drop to the rear. You won't get the power because it's only when on your other turns after you play the first one, then you'll get the power. So you have to be careful of when you want to time playing this card. This is Prize Trident. Is a great one. When your other unit attacks, if it's the 5th battle of this turn, you can put inside soul, counter charge 1. Good generic counter charger. Nothing else to say. Okay, so next I want to discuss the attack order you want to do while playing Maelstrom. So let's start with when it's on your grade 3 turn. So let's say you're right now on your grade 3 Maelstrom and your opponent is at grade 3. What you want to do is you want to activate this card's ability first to discard a card from your hand, and then choose a unit with Aqua Force or Tear Dragon from your soul and call it to rear. Who do you exactly want to call? You want to call the grade 2 from its soul. Then after that, you'll get the ability that if it's the first battle of that turn, you can counter this one and stand this unit. Then after that, you want to call, if possible, Tidal Assault if you have it from your hand, or if it's not, you can use Judgment Maelstrom. You can play this order to call it from your drop zone. And then you want to play Prize Trident maybe behind one of Tidal Assault or the grade 2 of the right line, and that is generally the setup you kinda wanna go. And then how you wanna go on about attacking is you wanna attack with the grade 2 of the right line first, because it gets the ability of your grade 3 Maelstrom that if it's the first battle, you can counter this one and stand it. So you swing this first. It doesn't have to really attack hit, because your grade 3 Maelstrom doesn't require that in the first place. You can attack first with this grade 2 right line, restand it, and after that you can go into Tidal Assault to attack for the second, because it has the ability at the end of the battle that this unit attack second battle, and you have already a standing Vanguard Maelstrom because it's only the second battle. You can counterblast one and stand it. Then after the second battle, you want to attack using Tidal Assault for the third battle, and then you go back into your grade 2 right line for the fourth battle, because it has its second ability where if it's a fourth battle or more and you have a grade 3 or grade 2 Maelstrom, it gets +5, and ability where if it hits the Vanguard, you can draw 1. So it puts pressure on your opponent to guard the attack, or you get a free draw. Then lastly, for the fifth attack, you would be attacking with your grade 3 boss, where when it attacks, if it's a 4 battle of that turn or more, you can draw 1 and then choose one of your opponent's Vanguard and retire it. At this point, since from that attack order, this is your 5th battle, your Prize Trident that you either put behind Tidal Assault or your grade 2 right line would trigger to send it into your soul and counter charge. So that's somewhat the attack order you wanna do generally for your combo. So the next part is cards that you want to consider to put inside your Maelstrom deck that isn't a part of the core cards that I've already mentioned before, that you should maybe think about whether you want to put inside the deck or not. So the first card that you can sort of consider is Cooperative Strike Brave Shooter, where if it's behind your Vanguard and when your rearguard attacks, if it's the first battle, it gets +5 until end of turn. So generally this card is not really that good, but from the Maelstrom combo that we did, it doesn't generate enough power to hit Vanguard just by itself, if you can understand, because from the first attack it's just a 10k. So let's go back to this guy. If he gets the ability from the Maelstrom to counterblast 1 to restand if it's the first battle, it doesn't have any ability to gain power from its first attack. So if when your opponent is at grade 3 at 13k, so 10k can't hit at 13k, so maybe something you wanna consider to hit the threshold. And because of the fact that this power actually sticks to that grade 2 for the end of that turn, unlike its ability that for the fourth battle more, that it only gets power for that battle. Then next is the Shoreline Race Dragon. When this unit attacks, if it's the 4th battle of this turn or more, and your order zone has a Blue Storm Fleet card, this unit gets plus 10,000, and at the end of that battle, put this unit also. The effect to put inside the soul is mandatory if you are to use it. It's a okay card if you want to go into multiple attacks using Wheel Assault, because it lets you exchange after the battle that it boosted. So you can put it maybe behind the grade 2 right line or the Tidal Assault to generally swap their positions after they finished attacking, and having Wheel Assault for the other side. Up to you if you really want, I guess. Then of course, in a multi-attack deck for Stoicheia, why would you not want to put in a Pulse Dragon? Mainly you just really want to use it for its ability to just put inside Soul to draw 1. Mainly you want to use Inlet Pulse Dragon for its draw power and ability to attack with at least a 13k base. The next one, I'll discuss the pros and cons. So pros is generally you can get your pieces on the field like somewhat well, because your grade 3 calls Arc of Force cards from your soul, which your opponent can't really interact it much unless you are prison. And generally most of these cards can be somewhat revived if you play Judgment Maelstrom. Yeah, I guess. You wanna call it that? And well, yeah, in a multi-attack deck, basically, if you get hit by a defensive or overtrigger, the whole point of setting up that combo sort of become wasted. It's kind of a big problem with how multi-attack in this deck kind of works. It's really hard to hit the threshold of hitting a defensive with just your multi-attacks, because they, as I've discussed, this deck doesn't generate enough power on its grade 3. Yeah. If you want to still play this deck, it's up to you. That's all I can say much about this deck. I mean, it's a Maelstrom deck, so if you like Maelstrom, then up to you. But I wouldn't really call this deck good nor bad. I guess it's decent enough. It's at least self sufficient with its support right now. Well, up to you, I guess. It's your decision. I'm just here to discuss the cards and what to put inside a Maelstrom deck. That's it. Anyways, I hope this video sort of helped you in wanting to build a Maelstrom deck and sort of think about what kind of cards maybe you wanna put inside. That's all, folks. Goodbye.